regular meeting of the Board of Education. This is Tuesday, May 9th. Roll call, please.
Parker. Here. Siselic.
Here.
Shuffleman.
Here.
Hanson. Stahl.
Here.
Let us stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. There's a flag up on top. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This meeting is a meeting of the Board of Education in public for the purpose of conducting the school district's business and is not to be considered a public community meeting. There is a time for public participation during the meeting as indicated in the agenda. Approval of minutes. Resolved that the Buckeye Board of Education approve the minutes of the special and regular meetings of April 11, 2017 and the special meeting on April 17, 2017. A motion, please. Motion. Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Siselic.
Yes.
Stahl.
Yes.
Parker.
Yes.
Hanson. Shuffleman.
Yes. Recommendation statement. Following are recommendations that have been identified for approval as part of the consent agenda for this meeting. If a board member wishes to remove any item from this agenda for further discussion prior to taking action, please let either the superintendent or board president know. Approval of consent agenda. Resolved that the Buckeye Board of Education approve the consent agenda of May 9, 2017 as presented. The motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Parker.
Yes.
Hanson. Siselic.
Yes.
Stahl.
Yes.
Shuffleman.
Yes. Superintendent's informational items.
First up, we'd like to recognize our students of the month. This is one of the exciting parts of our meeting, so we thank you that you're here. We have our principals come up and introduce your students. Ms. Hartwell, you are up.
I'm very pleased to present Brant Crane, and Mrs. Ellen, the second grade teacher, had some kind words to say about him. It's no surprise that Brant Crane has been chosen for this honor. Brant is a welcome addition to our classroom. He always has a smile and helping hands for others. Brant takes his education seriously and can always be found going the extra mile when it comes to homework and classwork. Brant loves to read and has taken an extra interest in nonfiction books about presidents. Congratulations, Brant. I couldn't be more proud of you, Mrs. Ellen, and I'm also very proud of you, too.
Student of the month from the intermediate school, Savannah McKee. Savannah is a sixth grader in Mr. Peel's homeroom. Savannah has some wonderful qualities. She's cheerful at all times, is courteous to her peers and adults alike, and is very organized. She has many friends and does very well academically. Savannah currently has all A's and 1 B+. Her favorite subject is math. Outside of school, Savannah competes in gymnastics and cheerleading and enjoys playing volleyball and spending time with her family. Savannah McKee.
Good evening, I'm Mr. Flood, and she's here, yes. I was honestly so bummed at first. Oh my gosh, this is Catherine Coons. She is our student of the month at the junior high, and For the first time this year, what we did is we actually had all of our teachers nominate 4 or 5 students who they felt, I don't know if Catherine knows the story, but who they felt were most inspiring this year, who did the most this year, and who worked the hardest this year. And they had to write a little something about them. And then after they wrote what they did about them, I put it all in a Google form, and then I had all of our teachers choose who they felt was the best student to represent Buckeye Junior High. And Catherine Coons was our student of the month for the entire year, not just in the month of May, but for our entire year at the junior high. One of the things that was actually written about her was at the beginning of the year, Catherine offered to act as my homeroom student council representative because we didn't have one. Since then, she has spent every morning in my 7th grade homeroom just so she can keep my kids updated on school events. She's a great mentor to my 7th grade girls and makes sure that no one is sitting alone. Catherine will always say hello and goodbye each morning. Not only does she set to achieve academic goals, but I believe she models what we hope for a well-rounded student every day through her kindness, humility, integrity, and extracurricular choices. Catherine Coons.
Hello everybody, I'm Mr. Garrish. I'm the assistant principal at Buckeye High School. We have 2 students of the month. The first one's not here, so we'll be taking his award away from him. Not really going to happen, I promise. The first is Elijah Kupetz, and again, Elijah could not make it tonight. He is a member of Fellowship of Christian Athletes, a member of the varsity soccer team, also a member of National Honor Society, and he has on here, he's a member of the student section at athletic events. I know Elijah also participated in football as well as a kicker. So we can give him a hand. I know he's not here, but Elijah. And we do have with us tonight Hannah Smith. Hannah is the FFA Vice President. She is a member of Mock Trial. She is also in National Honor Society and serves as the Vice President there. Hannah is ranked 3rd in her class, so she doesn't get very good grades at all. She is going to the Ohio State University and is going to major in special education. So, Hannah Smith.
Students, the young children, the meeting goes quite long. If you have homework or other things to do, this would be the time to depart.
Unless you want to know what happens at a school board meeting. Thank you very much. Thank you. Very much. All right.
Now we have seats in the front. Towards standing. Okay, we'll continue with letter B, important dates.
First up, I want to apologize for last week. Was May 1st was our school bus driver appreciation day, and I neglected to have that on our last board important dates. We do want to make sure that we acknowledge the important job that our bus drivers have every day and bring our students to and from school safely, and appreciate all their efforts in doing so. So if you see your bus driver tomorrow, make sure you congratulate them for last week's recognition. Today happens to be our National Teacher Appreciation Day, and so we would like to thank all of our teachers as well for the work they do, and just one of the things that we're hoping to, I'm sure things going on in the buildings for the teacher appreciation, but enjoy going to the buildings. Today I was in junior high for breakfast at the elementary bar and the high school on Friday, so I'm looking forward to eating well and seeing our teachers. So let's give a round of applause for the bus driver. Other important dates, this Friday, May 12th, we have prom, and that is at Weymouth Country Club. And May 19th, next Friday, we have baccalaureate, and that is at 6 o'clock at the Buckeye High School Auditorium. And then May 21st, we have graduation at 1 o'clock at Medina High School Performing Arts. And then 2 dates there, May 25th, last day for students, and May 26th, our last day for teachers. And those are our important dates coming up. Item C is Buckeye Local Schools website. I just want to take this opportunity, if you haven't been on our website, please check it out. If there's anything that you're wondering about, if there's maybe some things that you'd like to see on the website, please let us know. I'd like to thank Jim Kearns, our technology director, and Carl Walker, who helps him in the technology. They did a nice job of putting everything together at low cost, repurposing the server, and a nice article written about our website. I was hoping they would mention Jim and Carl in there, but they didn't, but I want to recognize them at today's board meeting. So just thank you, Jim and Carl, for the good work that you do in technology for us. Item D, I wanted to give an update on the Craig Bailey Memorial Run, which was held this past Saturday. It was not the ideal weather, but amazingly we had about 190 participants, and it was a great showing. I was told that they had over 240 that pre-registered, and that was a record, and so it wasn't too bad having 50 people that were able to make it. So on behalf of the Buckeye Education Foundation, we thank everyone for their support, and the Buckeye Education Foundation does some great things for our students and our staff and for our community, so I just wanted to thank everyone who participated in that, and it was always next year. Item E is administrative presentations. I'd like to start off with Roger Knoll with transportation.
Good evening. I don't have a lot tonight. We've got a couple of things. One is our bus inspections have gone very well. We've gone through 2 of them already. They started early. Highway Patrol has come into school. We started back in March and April. We're scheduled another 2 weeks. We'll be doing our 3rd round, and we're probably 2/3 of the way through our busing inspection. So it's helped that they have done it so early. The other thing is Secretary of Support Service Judy has done an excellent job in updating and refurbishing our web page for transportation. A lot of useful information on there now as far as bus rules, bus safety locations, things that we're looking for. The only other thing I'd like to say tonight is I really need to get the parents to do transportation forms. It seems like they kind of wait for that. I am myself, I wait for the last day of school, but they wait and then they go on vacation, we go through the summer, and then it comes into July 1st of August, now all of a sudden they haven't done the transportation forms, whether they're changing babysitters or they're moving from kindergarten to 1st grade. Very critical on kindergarten to 1st grade, you need to do a new bus form for that, they need to do that. Because they may go from a half-day kindergarten to a full-day student on the bus, they forget to change that, so that kind of stuff needs to be done, needs to update when you change schools. That's the only thing I really have tonight. It's very critical we get that information out to everybody, but we're very proud. Our bus inspections have gone very well. We're on the 3rd round now of bus inspections, and that's about all I got.
Roger, would that same thing apply to a student moving from 6th grade to junior high in bus form?
Yes, because the times all change. You know, they're being picked up at later for junior or for 6th grade. Now because the bus is coming about an hour earlier for junior high. And then a lot of them are getting into the sports where they may not ride in the afternoons and things like that. So a lot of things change. Every time you change a school, transportation changes a lot. So thank you.
Number 2 is Dr. Collins and Mrs. Brewer.
We'll have Mr. Muffin just one second. I just want to quickly update you. Do you have the slide? The slide? Do you have the slide? Okay, that's okay. So last year we went over a 5-year plan. You should get the slides. I'll check with Vicki about sending them to you because there are lots of links in there, things that we did last year to set up for this year and where we're at in our adoption cycles and everything. And I kind of talked about that previously, but just to recap, this year we were looking at science and we were on year 1 of math, so we're looking at purchasing math next year. We had Mrs. Devin come in and talk to you guys about where we are with everything with science. This year was also world language, which is what Mrs. Rivera was going to talk to you about in just a second, and some materials you have on the table. I just want to also recap from last year. We got a district-wide textbook inventory in place. The links, again, are in the slides. We got a 5-year adoption cycle in place, so that we're doing K-12 of a subject area every time we're doing an adoption. We're trying to get everybody on the same cycles. And we also presented last year the 5-year tech plan so that we are moving towards 1-to-1. So all of these huge, massive undertakings are coming together all at once. And I also wanted to give credit to our district leadership team. I talked more about them last year, but being voluntarily in the Ohio improvement process, part of what we have in place is a district leadership team that consists of educators from all the buildings and the administrators from all the buildings. And we meet 4 times a year for 4 half-days. Again, some districts are in the Ohio improvement process because they're required to be by the state. And if you're required to be, there are certain requirements that you have to meet. You have to set goals based on your test scores, and you have to do things at your building levels that are, again, based on test scores. Us being in the process voluntarily gives us a lot of leeway. So our DLT, we have put into place this year building leadership teams down to professional learning communities. So what that means is that each building has a team of teachers that meets several times a year. I think we're at like 6 times a year for an hour or for a half day. And they organize how that building's initiatives are going with the district leadership team's initiative, if that's making sense. The next level down from that are professional learning communities. So at the elementary level, that looks like our grade level teams when they meet during their encore time. So all of our grade levels meet once every 6 days. At our junior high and high school, the junior high meet by department, but they also meet in their grade level teams. So we have English meetings, and then we have 7th grade meetings. So at the high school, we have the same thing, department meetings, English meetings, and we have some 9th grade meetings. So we've got all of these groups in place, and really what that looks like are lots of gears that are turning to make the whole gear of the district turn. And I think this year we've made great strides as a district to get that district leadership team making decisions about our professional development and where we're going, the initiatives that we're taking on. So that's all the curriculum update that I have. Mrs. Harris is going to talk about the Spanish materials. I have to give lots of appreciation to her because she really led the effort in finding the materials, getting the samples, and leading the department towards a decision of what they wanted to adopt. So that's what you'll be looking at tonight.
We met with 3 textbook companies. We had 3 come in and present to us, Yancey, Holt, and Pearson. And the 3 we chose Authentico, which is Pearson. I have a little list of stuff that I typed out for all of you guys. For all the good, wonderful, awesome reasons why they want this one. But there are tons of reasons, as you can see, as to why we selected this textbook. The textbook we're currently working with is about 10 years old, and it's outdated because they have updated our standards within the last 3 years, national and state. So this new textbook, Authentico, would be 100% alignment with our new standards, Ohio and national, which is the national standards. We are going all e-text, so we're going to ask for all digital licenses for the kids because we're going to one-to-one for the freshmen and sophomores, and for the juniors and seniors that we have in class, we're going to have a set of Chromebooks in each of our classrooms that will accommodate for the kids who don't have one given to them by the district. They can download whatever chapter we're working on, so they can work offline as well as online. So if the internet goes down, if they don't have internet at home, whatever the case may be, and as soon as they get back online, they'll sync up and send us whatever work that they're doing. They have a free app they can download and work off their phones, because we all know that many of them have phones and iPads and other devices that they like to use, so they have that accessible also, and everything will talk to each other. There's tons of great stuff for the teachers to use. They have whiteboard activities, they have games, they have differentiated practice, they have scaffolded learning. The workbook is online, so we will no longer have workbook fees associated with Spanish because everything will be accessible for them and for us. If we need to print it out, we can print it out and hand it to them. There's tons of assessments for us to use, remediation activities. We can group the kids so that we can differentiate by their levels. So if somebody's having problems, we can give them assignments online to help them remediate some of the things that they need extra help in, and we can give them more advanced students more advanced assignments. So we can challenge the ones that get more because they don't advance. Editable rubrics, IPAs, which a big push with what we do with our new standards are individual performance assessments. So these are already created for us. We can edit them and use them as we need. And then we can add our own activities, collaborate with each other. There's a DK visual dictionary. They have partnerships with all kinds of authentic resources for us to use. It keeps the data on all the students and their work. They give us free professional development. They're going to come whenever we tell them and how schedule works for them for a half-day training on all of the new textbook materials for free. They're not going to charge anybody for that. And then they have online professional development we can access also. They have interactive global map and authentic, like I said, the authentic materials. The other textbook companies wanted to charge us extra for everything. So if we wanted virtual field trips, they wanted to charge us for virtual field trips. If we wanted an online social media kind of thing, they wanted to charge us extra for that. Everything is included in theirs. There was no extra fees to get what we want. Everything was included in theirs. They have pre-AP activities at all levels. So if we eventually go to a Spanish 5 being an AP class, this will prepare them for that. And they get your licenses. Like I said, it's all inclusive, and they're $87.97 per student, and they're giving us all of the teacher resources for free, as many as we need.
Will you have a classroom set up or not?
No. So we discussed that, and that's why we said, well, we only really need them for 1 year, and then we really wouldn't need them anymore because the kids will all have Chromebooks. And we thought the more cost-effective way to go would be to not buy a classroom set of textbooks and just go all digital. One second, that's perfect.
87, 97,
Now it's the year license. Perfect. It was less than some of the other ones came in at with less stuff. Like Yancey didn't have a lot of tech support and a lot of activities with theirs. Colts have a lot of tech support, but they wanted you to pay. Like you had to get the Cadillac package in order to get everything that we're getting here. Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you. Item 3 is Nancy Nimmo and Don Hartwell on co-teaching.
We don't have the slides, I didn't think either, and really, I'm gonna pass it over to Dawn, who I know is having to our teachers, because we think you really need to hear from them how the co-teaching process has been beneficial for our students this year.
So, my name is
They're so excited. I just want to introduce, this is Marcy Zippel, 3rd grade, Jerry Gandalf, 2nd grade, Denise Hager, 3rd grade, and 12th this year, Julie Such, 1st grade. And I can't say enough about the teachers here and the ones who are able to make a meeting who are part of our co-teaching initiative this year. I'm going to let you let them tell you about it, easy for me to say. But this doesn't just happen. A lot of work, teamwork, planning has gone into this. And I wish I could say it was smooth sailing, but we have bumps in the road, and they worked through them. And they worked through them professionally and beautifully.
And she's not kidding about that. No, it was at the end of the year, probably around this time. Dawn came to a few of us and asked if we would be part of this co-teaching. And at that time, I'm going to tell you, I'm like, what? I have heard of it, I have some idea of it, but I'm not really sure. Basically, the paradigm has shifted. Years ago, kids were put on IEPs. I hate to say it, but a lot of teachers would be happy. They're moving into a resource room, all right? And that works fine.
for a lot of years. Well, what we saw was that there was a gap. The kids were being taught to their IEPs, but they weren't being taught or exposed to the standards of what the rest of the kids were being taught. And what we have found out is even though a child is on an IEP, most of them, I think, Nancy, are we at our district at 95%,
90% plus.
have average IQs. So they can learn what everyone else does. They just learn a little bit differently. We have to differentiate the learning for them. All right. The other problem with it is they weren't taught all the standards. Students were late. All right. I can remember when I was taken out for Title I when I was a child, I was labeled. That I didn't know how to read, and I labeled myself as well. That I didn't like reading, I was horrible at it, and I labeled myself. And so therefore their self-esteem went down. And when they went to the resource room, they were pretty much with the resource room for their reading, for their math. They were only given the opportunity for their specials, gym, music, and art, to be with the rest of the general ed. And they really missed out on a lot of social interaction, which kind of separated them from the group. Now, so when we took on this task, okay, we knew it was going to be a very hard year. How is this all going to work out? But I just had a feeling at the end of this year, it was going to be beneficial. It was going to grow. If you look to the second side of the page that Marcy gave you, I have 4 different students on this page, and I'll just go over a few of the data of what I collected along with my co-teacher on a few of the students. We are all co-teaching. Students who are on IEPs are with us all day. It is amazing to see them grow and the social interaction that they have with the other students, and even take lead in small groups, which you would have never seen before. But I have a student who was my student A on an IEP. His IEP contained initial consonants, final consonants, short vowel sounds, and he came in when they came in August, he only had 57% accuracy, 43% 71. In April, 100% accuracy on all of those. Even his sight words. What I'm most excited about, Ames Web, that's what we test the kids with benchmarks on their fluency, how fast they can read, because there is correlation on how fast you can read, and then your comprehension. Went from 1 word per minute, he's now at 17 words per minute. And his comprehension, our DRA, which we benchmark their comprehension, a level 2 in kindergarten, now at a level 6 first grade. Incredible growth. I have student B on here. On their Ames Web, 13 words per minute back in August. Now reading 48 words per minute. And the most exciting is their DRA for their comprehension was a level 4 beginner first grade, now at a level 16, which is mid-second grade. Okay? Now, the big question we have is this going to affect our general ed? Okay, I have these kids that have IEPs in my class, I'm focusing on differentiating for them, but how is this going to affect my general ed? So I have student C, general ed population, but also in Title I to help them read. Ames Web fluency went from 17 words per minute to 68 words per minute in April. And on their comprehension, level 12, which is a first grade level, to a level 28, which is third grade. Exactly where we want that child. They grew. And I have just level D, my general ed, 53 words per minute. The benchmark in August was 57 words per minute. They were right where they should be. In April, 101 words per minute. And their DRA, they were still at first grade level, a level 12, but went up to a level 30, which is mid-third grade. They are halfway through the third grade already. So as you see, it pulled up our IEP students, it pulled up our Title I, it did not hurt our Gen Ed, it still pulled them up just as much. And the best part about it is that self-esteem goes up for everybody. The kids show apathy and they help them out all the time. There's no labels on the kids. They all interact with one another. And like I said, in small group activities, my students wouldn't speak in the class or didn't know anybody or taking the lead, which is awesome. This helps in primary, intermediate, because as they move up to junior high and high school, and they do have to be in those gen ed classes, it's a smoother transition. And for the district, that gap closes. And we had a big gap before. So it is totally working. We still have some bumps in the road to go through and some ironing out, but the least restrictive environment for these students works all around, and it's much better for the children. So thank you.
For me, I'd just like to add that we are doing this K through 6th grade right now. And next year, the junior high has been working all year on getting ready, and they will be the junior high school that teaches in the 4 continent areas. I do think it's important that we know, she said, least restrictive environment. That's the key here. And that's more what, you will be hearing a lot more about that, and then we'll get a full presentation on what a dozen of us have been part of a LRE practices training for this whole year. And we will bring that to our DLT and tell them the results and what we've now designed as our flow chart to work through where students will be placed. It's no longer, for so long, it was IEP resource room, there it was done. Now what we're looking at is where does that individual student need to be? Not where does that group of kids need to be? Because every kid is different. And we do that all the way from our gifted students to our kids on IEPs. Ladies, I can't tell you how impressed I've been all year, and the joy that I see in their faces has been extremely touching. Thank you for your work.
Thank you also. I so much appreciate the data. Many times we can talk about progress that students have made, but to actually see the data, it's the proof of the pudding, isn't it? So thank you very much.
And thank you for sharing all the exciting things that are happening. It's fun to see passion and excitement from our teachers involved in that, so thank you, nice job. Next, I'd like to recognize our Buckeye Local School cafeteria staff for their Surf Save certificates. Effective March 1st, 2017, Ohio Health Department requires a certified in food protection level 2 cook in each school kitchen during the daily operation. Buckeye cooks have completed this by taking the Surf Save level 2 course offered at Banana County Career Center, along with passing a state mandated test. This involved attending a 16-hour training program covering everything from food safety, foodborne illnesses, flow of food, and proper sanitation practices, and much more. And I would like to add that this, obviously, March 1st is the middle of the year, and so we kind of made this transition. And I really appreciate the work that our cooks have done. I'm going to call you up. I have a certificate here for the Surf Safe. First up is Rosemary Gabeline. And Rosemary is actually a sub who did this on her own and also qualifies, so we thank you for your dedication. Henrietta Wood. Jeanette Emmerich. Lois Berger. Nicole Martinelli.
He's not here.
Okay. Eileen McDonald. I'm sorry. Thank you, Snow.
You don't know how to show you that, Joe.
Sort of say, you have a thing to do when you get home. That's everybody? No? Okay. Thank you. Next up, I have the privilege to acknowledge and recognize two of our bus drivers. The Ohio School Bus Rodeo, road and then it's E and then O, is to develop an organizational plan which makes Ohio School Bus Driver Safety, Rodeo, available to all school bus drivers for promotion of safety, professionalism, and recognition through the cooperative effort of school districts, Ohio Association of Public School Employees, Ohio Association for Pupil Transportation, the Ohio Department of Education, the Ohio Education Association, and the Ohio School Bus Mechanics Association. This last week, we had two of our bus drivers compete at the state level, and the first one is Aaron Gateline. How many competed in that?
48, right?
48. So Aaron did a nice job, and Aaron is a rookie. Our next participant was Steve Temple, and he actually finished second. He'll be going on to the national competition.
Item 9 is public participation. The public is invited to speak to any of the agenda items and other school topics at this time. Comments should be limited to 3 minutes. Direct questions will not be answered by the Board of Education members at this time. However, answers will be given at a later date as appropriate. Is there anyone who wishes to speak tonight? Yes.
Hi, Betty Middle. I'd just like to introduce to the board the new union president for BLEA is Elizabeth Seach.
Thank you and welcome. Any other public participation? Seeing none, we'll continue with the treasurer's report.
I'm requesting that the board approve the internal budgets, amended certificates, and appropriations that are going to the county auditor. That are filed in the treasurer's office.
Second. Any questions, comments? Roll call.
Barco?
Yes.
Siselic?
Yes.
Manson? Stahl?
Yes.
Kunkelman.
Yes.
Next is approval for the 5-year forecast that I will be presenting.
Will we do the presentation first or
You'll do a motion and then I'll do the presentation.
all right. A motion, please.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, this is the 5-year forecast that's required to be presented in May and in October of every year. The revenue does not include any of the sales tax money, any bond issue, permanent improvement, cafeteria, federal or state. The only thing that this includes is general fund and the emergency levy. This financial forecast is based on what knowledge I have as of May of 2017. There's 4 major revenue streams for our general fund, and that is real estate taxes, which is 52% of our income, which is residential, agricultural, commercial, industrial, mineral, and public utility. Personal property taxes, which used to be very large in this district, is now down to 5%. And the only thing that this entails is public utility tangible. The unrestricted grants and aid is our state aid. It's our special education funding, transportation, and open enrollment. That is 25% of our revenue. Property tax allocation is the property tax, personal property reimbursed by the state, which they are eliminating, homestead rollback, and the casino tax. The projections are for 2017 through 2021. I have the passage of the renewal levy for 10 years. The state is based on status quo. It doesn't include the latest bill passed by the House, which is projected to reduce our funding over $500,000 in 18 and $300,000 in 19. But it's just been approved by the House. That's probably not where it's going to end up, which is why I didn't have anything in here. The projections do reflect a steady decrease in the state tangible personal property replacement, and having it completely eliminated in 2021. I do show an increase in open enrollment based on our projections from Amos, and I have flatlined the casino tax revenue based on history. I know this is hard to read. This is what I just spoke of. Our revenues are approximately $21,432,000. The largest is the $11 million we get from real estate taxes and $5 million that we get from the restricted grants and aid. Our revenue is pretty much flatlined until 2000. A small decrease in 18 for the reduction of the personal property replacement tax, and again 19, 20, and 21. I have nothing in here that would reflect any new levies except for the one that's already been approved. The bottom half is for advances in and transfers in. This was for federal grants that we had to, my verbiage, loan the money to so we could close the books at the end of last year that they reimbursed us for. Expenditures, there's 4 major areas for expenditures. We're a people business. 55% of our money goes for salaries, 23% goes for benefits, 12% for purchase services, and 3% for supplies. The salaries include all staff. And there are some staff that this does not include, which is the coaches, that's paid through athletics. Cooks are paid through food service, and there are some staff that are paid through federal grants. The benefits include our insurance, medical, dental, prescription, Medicare at 1.45%, STRS and SERS that are required by law, 14% based on salaries. Purchase services include utilities, tuition, community school, open enrollment, post-secondary option, architect's fees, legal fees, and professional development. That is about 12% of our budget. Then 3% is our supplies, which are instructional supplies, custodial supplies, bus supplies, office supplies. Again, this forecast is reflective of the current expenditures, additional programs, resignations, retirements, or leave of absences as of this date. Projections reflect the negotiated agreements that are currently in effect for certified 2014 to 17 and classified for 2015 through 18. The outcome of the current negotiations has not been reflected in this forecast. Insurance costs do show a decrease of 10%, which is wonderful for this district for the fiscal year 18. And then I put in a 15% increase for 19 and beyond. And the employee contribution is per the negotiated agreements with spousal language. Purchase services and supplies, I also put in a slight increase. Our total expenditures are approximately $20 million. I've projected slight increases and step increases in the benefits that I spoke of before, which will take us to 2021 with a $23 million expenditures. Fiscal year 17 also shows a transfer out of $700,000 from general fund to permanent improvement, which is a free fund for capital projects. These are some major projects that the administration wants to get done and get completed. an HVAC project at the high school, some painting and some sealing at the elementary, paving, some major projects that we don't have enough money left in our sales tax and our capital improvements. This will be a one-time transfer to capital improvements. Fiscal year 17 also shows advances of $30,000 for the federal grants for the same reason. We have to, it's a loan, so we can close the books at the end of the fiscal year in the black. And then $15,000 for fiscal year 18 and beyond. This also shows the $895,000 is our other financing, which I just spoke of, $700,000 to capital improvements. We also have a transfer to athletics and to a small to food service that I projected. So our total expenditures are going to go from 21.2 to 23.4. The line item that I feel is the most telling is the excess of revenue over expenditure, over or under. And it is what happens in a levy cycle. For 2017 and 18, we are still taking in, we're putting money into our savings account, which is what we've done over the last 3 years. Starting in 2019, we're going to start spending our savings account, and in 2020 and in 2021. We will still be finishing the year in the black. Any questions?
You're on open enrollment for increase. Have you looked at where the tipping point is, where it becomes more of a burden for the district?
That's always part of our policy, is we look at each classroom, whether they can, whether you have to add a teacher, that's when.
That's when it becomes a problem. Okay. So you're involved in that.
Yes.
Any other questions? Roll call?
Mattson?
Yes.
Garko?
Yes.
Stahl?
Yes.
Sisavich?
Yes.
Dunkelman?
Yes. Yes.
Really like your projections for your food service. Like to congratulate those in the back row.
Thank you. They work hard.
Okay, superintendent's recommendations.
Item A, approval of professional leave. I'd like to resolve that the civil Elton Cuddy will attend for Advanced Business Summer Institute English Language and Composition course at Wake Forest University, North Carolina, from 6/11/17 through 6/16/17. Item B, we have agreement with ABC Therapy Limited, resolve Buckeye Board of Education approve a revised agreement with ABC Therapy Limited for independent occupational and physical therapy services for Buckeye students for the 2017-18 school year. And complete copy agreement is in the Treasurer's office. Item C, adoption of student textbooks. This is for the 712 World Language Department for Spanish levels 1, 2, and 3. Copy of textbook information will be attached to board members' agendas. Item D, approval of job description. Resolve Buckeye Board of Education approve the job description of the Assistant Technology Coordinator. And a copy of the position will be attached to board members' agendas. Item E, approval of bus purchases. Resolve Buckeye Board of Education approve the Ohio Schools Council bid to purchase 3 international school buses at $79,804 each, plus an additional $4,200 for a 10-year, 200,000-mile warranty on each bus. Total purchase cost is $252,012 for the Ohio Schools Council. A copy of the bid sheet will be attached to board members' agendas. Item F, summer reinforcement program. resolve the Buckeye Board of Education approve extended year services for approximately 1 and 2 special needs students. Summer reinforcement program is partially funded by the United Way. The cost of the program per student is $350. A copy of the service contract will be attached to board members' agenda. Item G, summer enrichment program. Resolve Buckeye Board of Education approve extended year services for approximately 3 to 4 students, special needs students. The summer enrichment program is provided through the Educational Service Center for Benton County for summer preschool during the school year 2016-17. A copy of the service contract will be attached to board members' agenda. H, summer enrichment program. Resolve the Buckeye Board of Education approve the extended year services for 1 special needs student for the summer school year 2016-17 for a total of $2,000. The summer enrichment program is provided by the Summit County ESC. A copy of the contract will be kept on file in the Treasurer's office. We have a work experience agreement for the Board of Education and the contract with the Goodwill Industries for the work experience agreement for 2017-18 school year. A copy is also included in your agendas. Appendix G, preschool handbook correction. Resolved that the Buckeye Board of Education approved the corrections on page 16 in the 2017-18 preschool handbook as submitted. A copy of the correction will be attached to board members' agendas as Appendix H. Item I, resolved that the Buckeye Board of Education approve the revision of the agreement with the ESC to increase the number of hours for the gifted and talented coordinators an additional 45 days for an additional $20,925. Item J, agreement revision. Resolve the Buckeye Board of Education approve the revision of the agreement with Medina County ESC for the deaf education extended school year services for a Buckeye student for a total cost of $585.
We'll entertain a motion. Second. Any questions? Comments? Roll call.
So,
Yes.
Mrs. Zeller?
Yes.
Barca? Hanson?
Yes.
Copeland?
Yes.
New business, item A, approval of baseball field relocation. Resolve the Buckeye Board of Education approve the relocation of the high school baseball field to the approved site near the field house. Just wanted to clarify, there is not a site identified yet, but this is going to help us focus our direction on the location of the field and giving the information for us to go out for bid.
Motion, please. Second. Questions? Comments?
I wanted to make a comment. Apparently people have been told that I'm against the baseball field. Nothing more is true than I support baseball 100%. My reasoning for questioning the baseball field location is we're all taking it out of one pot. We're talking about, our first projected cost was $160,000. That was if we keep it at the same field, if we put it in a new field. A week later, we were told it's up to $230,000. My question is I want to know, and we've asked 3 or 4 times, what are we paying for? It doesn't include, all we're paying for is a new fence, a field, and dugouts. It doesn't include bleachers, and it doesn't include lighting. A few of the board members have asked for the cost of the field where it is located. We have a drainage problem. We have never looked at our drainage problem, and we wanted to. We're talking about putting cameras in the drainage. We do have drainage out there. It's just we've never maintained that field. Now we're talking about not even looking at that field. We're talking about moving it all the way to the back. I just want everybody to be aware that anybody that's in the back field that uses the back property, it's going to affect every single sport that's back there. That includes football, that includes soccer, the girls softball, band. We're talking about moving every single one of those people. I just want to get projections and costs, the field up front, and see what we can do up front before we talk about moving in the back. And that's why I'm not for moving, just talking about moving in the back, period. Thank you.
Anything else? Roll call.
Barca?
Yes.
Hanson? Yes. Mrs. Zeller?
No.
Stahl?
Yes.
Copeland?
Yes.
Item B is an addition to the agenda. We have resignation for retirement. Result, the Buckeye Board of Education accepted resignation for retirement of Carolyn M. Wojcicki, effective August 1st, 2017.
Motion, please.
I'll make that motion.
Second. Comments or questions? Roll call. Oh, sorry.
Grandchildren, wives,
Okay, thank you. Roll call.
Parka?
Yes.
Mattson? Siselic? Stahl? Gunkelman?
Yes. Yes, please, personnel.
Karen, thank you for the help being here. Appreciate it. Item number 13 is personnel. Result, the Buckeye Board of Education approve the following personnel items as presented. Number 1, employment. Result, the Buckeye Board of Education approved to hire Alexandra Petrak as the Buckeye High School French teacher for the 2017-18 school year. Ms. Petrak will be paid at master step 5 of the negotiated agreement. Item 2, employment. Result, the Buckeye Board of Education approved to hire Greg Dennison as the Buckeye High School math student promotion teacher for the 2017-18 school year. Mr. Dennison will be paid at masters plus 15, step 18 of the negotiated agreement. Employment. Result, Buckeye Board of Education approved to hire Shane Hotchkiss as the Buckeye High School science teacher for the 2017-18 school year. Mr. Hotchkiss will be paid at master's step 1 of the negotiated agreement. Employment. Result, the Buckeye Board of Education approved to hire Dana LaPlante as the Buckeye High School language arts teacher for the 2017-18 school year. Ms. LaPlante will be paid at master's step 5 of the negotiated agreement. Number 5, employment. Result, the Buckeye Board of Education approved to hire Oliver Krager as the Buckeye High School social studies teacher for the 2017-18 school year. Mr. Krager will be paid at bachelor step 0 of the negotiated agreement. Item 6, employment. Result, the Buckeye Board of Education approved to hire Lana Plady as the Buckeye High School math teacher for the 2017-18 school year. Mr. Plady will be paid at bachelor's plus 15, step 10 of the negotiated agreement. Item 7, employment. Result, the Buckeye Board of Education approved to hire Marla Nunn as the Buckeye Intermediate 6th grade teacher for the 2017-18 school year. Ms. Nunn will be paid at bachelor's step 5 of the negotiated agreement. Item 8, result, the Buckeye Board of Education approved to hire Cindy Harvey as a long-term full-year sub for high school language arts. Ms. Harvey will be paid at master's step 0 of the negotiated agreement. Resignation. Result, the Buckeye Board of Education accept the resignation from Paul Shercliffe as the Buckeye Junior High School STEAM teacher effective August 16, 2017. Item 10, resignation. Result, the Buckeye Board of Education accept the resignation from Hilda Ray as the Buckeye Intermediate teacher effective August 16, 2017. Item 11, contract non-renewal. Resolve the Buckeye Board of Education accept the recommendation for non-renewal of a one-year limited contract for the 2017-18 school year for Colin O'Brien, 3rd grade teacher at Buckeye Primary. Item 12, leave of absence. Resolve the Buckeye Board of Education approve the request for leave of absence effective September 11, 2017 by Tony Campbell Benedetto, Buckeye Junior High School counselor for the remainder of the 2017-18 school year. Item 13, leave of absence. Resolve the Buckeye Board of Education approve the request for family leave of absence effective May 3rd, 2017 by Jody Keith for the remainder of the 2016-17 school year. Item 14, one-year contract beginning the 2017-18 school year. Deborah Rice, Erica Reppes, Marissa Passag. Number 15, special education extended hours. Resolve the Buckeye Board of Education approve the request of extended hours for the following special education employees: school psychologist Shannon Kissinger and Tom Michelle, up to 5 additional days; speech language pathologist Amy DePriest, up to 5 additional days; preschool teachers Wendy Heinley, Justine, thank you, Rafida, Lauren Rogers, up to 6 days total for evaluations, home visits between the 3 teachers. Item 16, contract revision. Resolve the Buckeye Board of Education approve the one-year contract for the 2017-18 school year for Richard Brimmer The previous contract approved in April, incorrectly listed him as David Lerner. B, classified personnel. Resolved the Buckeye Board of Education approve the following personnel items as presented. Administrative contract, resolved the Buckeye Board of Education approve a 2-year contract for Carl Walker, Assistant Technology Coordinator for Buckeye Schools. Effective August 1st, 2017, Mr. Walker will be paid $46,000 annually. A copy of the contract will be in the Treasurer's office. Item 2, employment, resolved the Buckeye Board of Education approved to hire Vera Itano Bacha as the Buckeye High School cook for the 2017-18 school year. Ms. Bacha will be paid at step 1 of the negotiated OC contract. Item 3, resignation, voluntary change of assignment. Resolved that the Buckeye Board of Education accept the resignation of Cindy Chanson, Buckeye Junior High Special Needs Paraprofessional, effective August 16, 2017. Resolved that the Buckeye Board of Education approved to hire Cindy Chanson, Buckeye Junior High Library Paraprofessional for the 2017-18 school year. Ms. Chanson will receive a 45-day probationary contract and will be paid at step 10 of the negotiated OC contract. Item 4, continuing contract. Resolved that the Buckeye Board of Education approved a continuing contract for Matthew Gregory, Treasurer Assistant, effective May 1st, 2017. Item 5, resignation. Resolved that the Buckeye Board of Education accept the resignation of Martha Barniak, Junior High Cook, effective June 1st, 2017. Ms. Barniak's resignation is for the purpose of retirement. We want to extend congratulations and best wishes for Martha as she goes into her retirement. Item 6, one-time payment. Resolved the Buckeye Board of Education approved to pay all cafeteria workers $200 each for proof of completion of the certificate of serve safety requirement. And item 7, return to work. Resolved the Buckeye Board of Education approved return to work from medical leave for Claudia Davis effective June 5th, 2017.
A motion, please.
Motion.
Okay, and a couple of things. On number 13, a medical leave for Jody Keith.
Instead of me.
Yes, it's medical leave. And on number B2, please correct me if I'm wrong, Mrs. Luther, this is 4.5 hours per day. Your cook is 4.5 hours per year? Yes.
No. The posting is for you.
That's what she's being hired for, is 4.5 per day?
No, she's being hired for 3.
3 hours a day?
Yes.
Great. I'd like to correct that to 3 hours. And for number 3 is 6.75 hours per day.
City 10. Any other comments, additions, corrections?
May is a busy month for this next.
Maybe check out the safe sort. I need neighbors.
Roll call, please.
Paul?
Yes.
Casella?
Yes.
Manson? Sparko?
Yes.
Copeland?
Yes.
Before I'm done, can I introduce some of our new staff? I'm going to go ahead. Marla Dunn, if you please stand. And Marla Dunn is at the intermediate building, and she has been a long business up this year in 6th grade. She's done an outstanding job and did a great job through the interview process, and was selected to join us as a teacher. So we welcome you, and thank you, and look forward to some great things. Mr. Garish, I've talked a lot, so if you don't mind, maybe introducing the high school personnel, that would be helpful.
I'd be happy to. We have hired 7 new people this year. I can promise you that the 7 that are leaving are not disgruntled. We're just replacing some people through retirement, resignations, things like that. So I'm going to start with the people that are not in attendance tonight. So we're hiring, as mentioned, Cindy Harvey. Cindy comes to us. She will be a long-term English teacher. She has 9 years experience teaching, mostly in Texas. She is returning from being a stay-at-home mom, and most recently she is a long-term sub right now finishing up here at Edwards Middle School in Brunswick. We're excited to hire Cindy. Dana LaPlante We are hiring as a full-time English teacher. Dana has 10 years experience teaching, both in the Arcadia local schools in Northwest Ohio. And right now, she is finishing up a long-term sub, full-year long-term sub with us. This year, Dana does an amazing job, and we're fortunate to have her with us. We are also hiring Mr. Shane Hotchkiss to teach science. Shane is a Medina grad, and he's finishing up a long-term sub right now at Highgate Middle School in Medina. Will Krager, we are hiring as a social studies teacher. He is a BW grad. Currently, he is a long-term sub with us, teaching social studies. He finished out the second half of the year with us and did a great job, so we're happy to have him. We also have Greg Dennison, who will be teaching math and then student promotion, which is basically marketing and promoting our students through our Buck TV and journalism. Greg comes to us with 29 years of teaching experience in Norton and mostly at Wadsworth. Excited to have him aboard. Now I want to recognize two people that are here with us. I won't ask you to come forward, but I will ask you to stand up. All right, so we'll start with Alexandra, if you stand up. Thank you. This is Alexandra Petrak. She will be teaching French for us. She comes to us with 9 years experience. She's currently in the Westlake City Schools. Previously, before that, she was in Strongsville. Is that correct? Okay. And she has actually a double certification. She is certified in Spanish and in French, so we will give her a hand because she is here. Congratulations and welcome aboard. And then we'll have Mr. Clayton stand up. You're looking good. Looking good. Still wearing your soccer cleats?
I still have.
Yes, you're looking amazing. Ron Clayton comes to us. He will be teaching math for us. 20 years of teaching experience. Western Reserve, Vermilion, but mostly at Wellington. And Ron is a community member. Has been in our community for 15 years. Has kids in our district, and we're excited to have him aboard as well. So we can get Ron. The thing I would like to say is, Mr. Tudor and I really felt like this spring, and you had mentioned it's a busy time, right? We felt like we were running a human resources agency, to be honest with you. Throughout the course of the spring, we were doing a lot of interviews, and we had a lot of great candidates, and we are super excited about the people that we've been able to bring in just to add to our staff. So welcome aboard, and congratulations.
We will take a time for board comments in this meeting, but there will be an executive session afterwards where no action will be taken. So, board comments. Mr. Matson.
Congratulations to boys baseball. Over the 1-0. Good game. Wednesday, Howie softball against Irving. Meeting on Monday night, so we've got another exceptional game on Wednesday. Baseball's not working really well.
Mr. Barco.
I'd like to congratulate those who are retiring from the district, who have made it that far. And wish them all a very wonderful retirement.
Mr. Stone.
A couple things. First of all, again, thanks everyone who came out for Run for the Bucks. As Kent said, it was a great day, but Kent placed first in this division. Just wanted to point that out.
I pushed it right to last.
But no, it's great. The Education Foundation does a great job. And I was also at the band concert last night, the Final One of the Year, so it was great to see the winners of all the awards. Stuff for seniors leading the band as well. I want to welcome the new teachers to the district. Thank you very much. Looking forward to it. And congrats, Carolyn, on your retirement. Looking for that casino revenue to go up.
I want to thank Carolyn for everything that she's done for Tom. 20 years in the district, that's very awesome. I want to congratulate the teachers for today being the Teachers' Day. Congratulate Steve and Aaron for representing our district. Thank you all for coming. Prom is coming up this Friday. I want our students to be safe. I'm attending the after prom. We've got 125 tickets last I heard. Pretty awesome. There's about 10 parents that have been involved and done a fantastic job. I want to thank all of them. And I think that's it. Thank you all for coming. Appreciate it. And have a good summer.
I'd just like to say, you know, May and June are kind of bittersweet because we have people we have relied on for a good long time that announce their retirements and they go on to other special things. And we're happy for them, but we're going to miss them. And then, you know, bringing new teachers aboard is always an exciting time too. Some different ideas and things to look forward to. And I want to say happy National Teacher Appreciation Day. Having been a teacher myself, I know how important your job is, and it's not an easy one. But we entrust our children to you, so we appreciate that. And so we would like to entertain a motion for executive session for the purposes of employment, compensation, and preparing for, conducting, or reviewing negotiations. Roll call. Oh, I need a motion. Thank you. Roll call.
Stahl?
Yes.
Siselic?
Yes.
Barco?
Yes.
Mattson?
Yes.
Dunkelman?
Yes.